Hello students, I am here with another video from the chapter of class 7th NCERT book, that is electric current and its effects. Before starting today's video, I would like to tell you all that till now what all things we have discussed in this chapter. So we started with the word electric current in the last class, and then I told you that this electric current means it is a flow of charges from in the connecting wire or in the conducting material. That could be a wire or it could be any other conducting material, whether it is made up of a metal, which is made up of a metal. Okay, the next thing we discussed about is the electric circuit. Now what is that electric circuit? Electric circuit means it is the place, it is the pathway which is being followed by any of the means it is followed by electric current, means electric current is flowing in a particular path, and that path is known as electric circuit. Now while maintaining an electric circuit or while making an electric circuit, we need to have certain things in it. Means it means that we should have the knowledge of the components of electric circuit. That also we have discussed. And after the components of electric circuit, I told you to draw a circuit diagram. Now what is that circuit diagram? Circuit diagram means it is a diagram which is being used, which is being made with the help of the components of electric circuit. Okay, the components of electric circuit could be a battery which is going to give the power supply, the battery which is going to give the potential difference, or it is going to give the difference in the charges, because of which the charges would be flowing. Okay, then next what we have to see is after this electric, it has to be joined with electric wire. That wire has to be connected to a switch, and after that it has to be connected to any appliance which is going to give rise, which is going to show you the result whether the electric current is flowing in the circuit or not. Okay, then all these has to be checked whether the circuit has been closed after switching it on. Okay, so we also have studied about the two types of circuit, that is the open circuit and the closed circuit, and I also told you that how this open circuit and closed circuit is going to be differentiated. Means it is going to be differentiated on the basis of the passage of current or not, whether the current is passing or not, and if the current is passing, it is known as the closed circuit. If the current is not passing through that circuit, it is said to be as incomplete circuit. Okay, so it is also based upon the key or a switch which has to be on or off in off condition. So if the switch is in off condition, it is said to be as incomplete, and if the switch is in on condition, the current is flowing, it means it is the complete circuit. Fine. So this is what we have discussed till now. So in the last class, I have also discussed about after the components, I have discussed about the circuit diagrams, and then also I have discussed about the heating effect. Okay, so we have to see its effects also. Now what is the effect of this electric current? The effect of the electric current could be, how many types of effects are there? Effect of electric current could be of two types, that is the heating effect and the magnetic effect. Okay, magnetic effect. Fine. Now next is that in this heating effect, I have told you that there are certain appliances or there are certain devices which is always based upon this heating effect of electric current, which could be the heater or the toaster or the oven. Nowadays are there. The electric iron is also there, which is used for ironing the clothes. So all these are the appliances which is utilizing this heating effect. So we'll first discuss, we have already discussed this heating effect of electric current in detail yesterday. Now I would like to discuss something more about this heating effect, is that this is one activity 14.4 in your NCERT book, which tells us which is like that, make a circuit which is being already used in the previous part. However, you have to replace the cell with a battery now of four cells. Means you have to replace the single cell with the combination of a battery. Okay, now what else you need to put? You have to put one and in the place of nichrome wire, a thin strand of steel wool has to be used. Okay, now in the last this one in 14.3 the circuit was made. Okay, now I'll just write down this one diagram is there in your book, that is activity number activity number, this is 14.3. In this, what was there? You have to put one battery, okay, only one cell you have to put, then it has to be joined with a wire, with a switch. Now this has to be joined with a nichrome wire, okay. Now one thing has to be changed. What is that change? It has to be joined with, in this, suppose that these are the two nails, and this within these two nails, what is present is a nichrome wire. So what is this? We have tied one nichrome wire. Now, what is the speciality of this wire and why we are using this nichrome wire? So make a circuit as shown here. Take about 10 centimeters long piece of nichrome wire and tie it between the nails, as I have tied it just here in the same diagram is there in your NCERT book, okay. Now nichrome wire, and now you have to tie it within the nails. You have to see that nichrome wire of the electric repair shops you can get, okay. So from where you are going to get this nichrome wire? You can get it very easily from the electric shop where the electric things are being made, they are being sold. Fine. Now what you have to do is you have to switch this on, okay. You have to close the circuit. Once you are closing the circuit, what happens now? The current starts flowing in the circuit. Once the current starts flowing in this circuit, what you will see, after some time you need to close. Again you need to open this circuit, means you have to switch off this circuit, okay. Switch it off so that the current stops flowing. Now after that you will touch this nichrome wire. What would you find? You would find that after a few seconds you will find that this wire becomes hot. So this is this is showing you the heating effect of electric current. So it is very easy to understand, it is very easy for the demonstration, but it is not advised to just have one experiment in your home like that. It is not advised at all. So you don't have to do anything practically. Just see this here, or whatever practical has to be performed will be performed in your labs in the school, okay, when you will come back. Fine. So next is that you will do the activity number 14.4 now on the basis of the same diagram. I am going to relate the same diagram with activity number 14.4 now. Now what is there in this activity? You have to make a circuit. Again, this circuit has been made already. Now however, place the cells with a battery of 4 cells. Now you have to use 4 cells, okay. Again 1, 2, 3 and 4. You will use 4 cells. Now what you will do, in place of this nichrome wire, don't use nichrome wire, just use one steel wire, okay. Use one steel wire. Now what you will do, you will use this, in place of nichrome wire, tie a thin strand of steel wire, steel wool. A steel wool is also commonly used for cleaning utensils. It is also available in the grocery shop if there are available, okay. It will be available easily. So if there are any fans in the room, you can switch it off. Now pass the current through the electric current from this circuit, and you will observe this for some time. Now pass the electric current to the electric circuit. Observe the strand of steel wool carefully. Now what would happen? What would happen to the steel wool? After some time, once the current is flowing through this, that is in a high, means that current is very much in a larger amount, which is not going to be resisted by this steel wire. Means the steel wire would not be able to withstand in such condition where the electric current is flowing continuously from this. So what would happen? Is this going to melt and break? What would happen after some time? Is the steel wire going to melt and break? Whether this is going to happen or not, whether this is going to melt or break. So wires made of, there are certain special types of material which quickly melts and break, okay. There are certain wires which is highly conducting, okay. So this is conductive also. This is made up of steel, so it is highly conducting, but still this melts and break. So this, what happens after some time, when the current is flowing, you will see that this steel wire melts and it is going to be broken down. Now why this is happening, and is this utilized somewhere? Is this property of melting and breaking of the wire could be utilized somewhere or not? Let's find out. So what next is it is said in your book is that wires made from certain special materials, they melt and break, okay. Now when a large amount of current is passed, now this melting and breaking just remember this property of melting and breaking. Now what happens? Once the large amount of electric current is passed, when the electric current is passed, what happens to the wire? This melts and breaks. Okay, now this is one property. Now this property is utilized in one of the another device where this wire is going to be melt and break, is known as electric fuse. This is known as electric fuse. So these fuses are there which is utilizing the current, and this is going to melt and break very easily when a large amount of current is being flowed. Now I think you all have heard about this electric fuse very commonly, because in everybody's home there could be many of the electric fuse, or nowadays small fuses are available. So these electric fuses are of different types. Nowadays this cylindrical type of fuse is also available. So this kind of fuse is there. Okay, sometimes in the olden times that long fuse was there, a large fuse was there which was made from the ceramic, or that was made from the stone. Okay, so that is another type, which is, I think the diagram is also given as 14.14 in your NCERT book. You can see the diagram from there, and you will see that these electric fuses can pass whenever the current is flowing, large amount of current is flown through this this electric fuse. What happens? The wire which is present inside this electric fuse, it is going to melt and break. Now what is there? Let's find out. So what happens actually? Inside the electric fuse? So the same thing is happening. So one wire is placed inside the electric fuse. Okay, or for example, one fuse I'll make. Suppose that this is a fuse. Okay, fine. So there is one wire inside this. Okay, now what happens? When a large amount of electric current is passed through this fuse, okay, what happens? It melts and breaks. As soon as it breaks, what happens? When it is broken down, this cuts the power supply. Okay, this cuts the electric current which is being flown inside the house. And you have seen that there is one board where so many fuses are being placed, and that is also nowadays it is known as MCBs. Now in that small switches are there, and nowadays fuse is not going to be wire is not going to be broken. That switch comes down. So that is again one of the automatic device which is going to stop the extra amount of current flowing in the circuit of your house. Okay, but in the olden times this fuse was used, and that too a big fuse was there, and that fuse was also having a metallic, that fuse was also having the wire inside it. Okay, so suppose that this is a fuse and this had a wire inside it. Now what happens to this wire? This wire was placed, and due to this was having the shape like, I think that is resembling to the fuse, but still you can understand what I wanted to say. So here what happens, this thin wire is being placed, and this thin wire melts and breaks. Okay, now why it is breaking? This is breaking because it is made up of a special type of low melting point metals are used. Materials or metals, it could be, are used inside the fuse. Now this fuse is a device which is having a small wire, a thin piece of wire, which is going to melt and break when the large amount of electric current is passed. Now what is its utility? What is the utility of this fuse? If the large amount, suppose that what happens if suppose that a large amount of current is coming in your house, in the circuit, so what will happen? Your appliance is going to be burnt, or it is all going to be short circuit inside your house. Why? Because a large amount of current is coming, and that appliances which are working in the in your home, it could get damaged. So to avoid that particular damage to the appliances like fan, your cooler, your TV, your fridge, okay, so there could be the safety device. So this is used as a safety device for your home. So if fuse is present inside your home, then what happens? This fuse is going to take up the extra amount of electric current, and because of the excessive electric current which is coming through this fuse, it is going to break the wire, it is going to melt the wire, and because it is having very low melting point, as melting point is low, melting point means it is a temperature at which the wire is going to melt, a metal is going to melt. So suppose that large amount of current is coming, and you know that current produces heating effect. Due to a heating effect, for example, if you take a candle, okay, now if you burn the candle, what happens? Its wax starts melting. In the same manner, if the metal is going to be heated for a longer time, then what happens? It also melts. You have seen that iron melts on heating, okay, it is going to melt, and that is why so many types of things are present. So many designs could be made in the iron, as you could see in the window panes. Nowadays window frames are made with the different designs. The railway tracks are also made with that, bridges are also made. So many items of iron object is being made, it is being casted in the molds. Now why this is possible? This is possible because it is possible just because of this property of melting. So metals are going to melt at very high temperature. Now some of the metals are those which is going to melt at very low temperature. So we are going to use such kinds of metals for making the fuse. Now if what happens inside the fuse, I have told you that when the large amount of current is coming, so what happens, this is going to melt and break the wire. Now once this wire breaks, the current stops flowing in the house, and all your appliances which are present in the home is going to be safe. So this is used as a safety device. This fuse is used as a safety device for your home. Okay, why? Because it prevents or stops the extra current to flow in the circuit. Okay, so what is a fuse? It is a safety device which is going to stop the extra current which is being flown inside your house, because of which what happens is it is going to protect the excessive amount of current which is flowing inside, and this could also damage the appliances which are present in your homes. Fine. So this is what is about a fuse is. So it is a safety device. Now so many fuses are available in the market, so many types of fuses are available in the market, but the basic design, the basic principle remains same. Fine, this remains same. But now what happens, sometimes some of the appliances also contains fuse. Okay, so as you could see in your if you're having the battery or see in your mobiles also, there is some regulator, voltage regulator is there, or in fridge or in the larger appliances we use stabilizers. Now what is the use of these? So the use of these appliances is that it is going to stop the extra amount of current. So only a continuous supply of the continuous amount of current has to be flown from that wire, from that particular appliance, from that particular device. So if extra amount of current is being flown inside it, that device could be damaged. So to avoid that damage to that device, some of the appliances contain stabilizer in it. Okay, it is installed inside within the device. Okay, as you could see in your nowadays the TVs are also available, the televisions which are coming, that also has a power bank with it. With that, what happens, in your laptop also there is a charger. That charger contains some voltage regulator, it contains some current regulator. So the extra amount of current is not being given to your device, your laptops. So it is going to work at a particular amount of current only. Okay, so it is if extra amount of current also comes, this is going to stop within the particular particular thing. It is going to stop in that particular device which is placed with your laptop. Okay. So this was about the electric fuse. So what is being written here? The wire made from some special materials melts quickly and breaks when a large amount of electric current is passed through it. This is used for making electric fuse. Okay. Next is that in all the buildings, fuses are inserted in all the electrical circuits. There is a maximum limit of the current with the safety flow through that circuit. Okay. Now one fuse could save only some of the appliances. Okay. That is why nowadays a large number of fuses are being used in that miniature circuit boards. And this breaks the circuit, and and what happens, you are going to switch it on, it is going to work again. Okay. So it is going to cut off the supply of the power, or it is going to cut off the supply of the electric current. So there is a maximum limit on the current which can safely flow through this circuit. If by accident the current exceeds the safe limit, then what happens? The wires are becoming overheated and may cause fire. So what is the use of this fuse? So this fuse is going to save your house. It is going to save your house from the extra amount of electric current which is flowing. So the wire may be overheated, and as it is going to cause fire, so that fire should not reach to your house. So we are using these safety devices, which is going to help in the safe guarding your house. Fine. Now what happens? A fuse is thus a safety device which is preventing the damage to the electrical circuits and possible fires. So what is a fuse? Fuse is a safety device. As I have told you, it is a safety device. It is a safety device which prevents the damage to the electrical circuit. Okay, and possible fire. So this is going to help in safeguarding your house from getting on fire. Okay. So this is again a safety device, and what is the principle behind this? It is the heating effect of electric current. Fuses of different kinds are available for different purposes. As I have told you, many types of fuses are available. Now figure number 14.15. Now where is it? It is given in your NCERT book. Again I must tell you, and please see to this, and that fuse is of now new type. Fuse is shown in 14.15, and gradually they are generally used in the electrical appliances. Fine. Now here what is given, one reason of excessive current in electrical circuit is the direct touching of the wires. Now another example of the extra amount of current which is flowing inside a circuit is because of the different types of wires are present, okay, inside inside your home, I must say. Now if two direct wires, means two wires having direct current would be touched with each other, it is going to cause what this is going to do, it is going to give the excessive amount of current, and because as a result of this touching of these two wires could cause short circuit. Now what is this short circuit? So for example, if two wires are present, two live wires are there, okay, if it is going to touch with each other, so what happens? This is going to cause short circuit. This is going to cause fire. Okay. So this causes short circuit, and live wire, as you could see that when two wires are going to touch, and that is why we always use as insulated wires. Now wire with the covers you are using, cover is of plastic, or it could be of rubber. So this is the reason why this may happen, due to the insulation of the wire has come off due to wear and tear. Sometimes the overusing of certain appliances would cause the insulated cover to go off. Okay, it is going to be teared off, or it is not present on the wire, and the wire becomes naked. So what happens to this wires? Now these live wires are exposed, because of which what happens, if two live wires are going to be joined with each other, what would happen? It is going to cause short circuit. So this short circuit is also resulting in the over excessive amount of current which is being flown from that particular circuit, and it could lead to the fire also. So this is again a very dangerous thing that we should always keep in check whether any kind of live wire is present. So we should always change that power supply. We should always change the particular wiring of that house or that particular object. Okay. This may also cause short circuit. Another reason for excessive current could be the connection of many devices to a single socket. Now, if you are using one single socket and that particular socket is having 4-5 plugs has attached in it. Now, what happens, as so many plugs are attached to that particular socket, it is causing overloading. So overloading happens. Okay, now suppose what is how you could understand this overloading, as the answer is there in this word only, overloading. Load is more. Okay, now what happens if in your, suppose that one bench is there and it could accommodate 4-5 students on it. Okay, now what happens if 10 students are sitting on that particular bench? What would happen? Just think over it. If 4 students could be accommodated properly in that particular chair or in a particular bench, now what happens if somebody makes you sit 10 or 12 students on a same bench? What would happen to that bench? It is going to fall. Either you will fall or the bench would break. Okay, if the bench is not very strong, it is going to break. Similar thing is happening. Why this has broken? Why the bench has broken? The bench has broken just because of the overloading of the students. Similar thing will happen in the overloading of the wire, overloading of the current. So this overloading may cause the short circuit again, which could lead to the fire. That is a possible chance of getting a fire because of this short circuit. Could be overloading or short circuit itself. Now what is that short circuit? If 2 live wires are going to attach, if it gets attached somehow. Next thing is that we could avoid this and too many connections are there, so which causes overloading. Okay, so you might have read the reports in the newspapers about the fire caused by short circuit and overloading. Now we have observed the heating effect of electric current, and we have also understood this. How is this overloading, and what is about this short circuit, and what is this heating effect? Now there are these days miniature circuit breakers, MCBs, are also increasingly being used in the place of fuses, as I have told you just now. Okay, now this information is also given in your NCERT book as figure number 14.16, where you could see this miniature circuit breakers are there, which is based upon the same technique of this fuse. Okay, so please go through that once again, and you could see the miniature circuit breakers in your homes, and I think that would be surely present in your houses. If not, the fuse might be present, but you don't need to touch it or just switch it on or off without the permission of any elder from your house. So just go and check whether it is present in your house or not. I am sure that it would be present, and that could be observed by you all. Okay, now please don't try to do any kind of such activities which could cause any dangerous thing that could be dangerous for your house. Okay, so please don't try to do that. Now what would happen if the switches which is automatically turned off when the current inside that circuit exceeds beyond the safe limits, as I have told you. You will turn them on, and that circuit once again is complete. Now you have to look for ISI mark on MCBs. Okay, so this ISI mark is in the Indian standard. It is the mark which is going to tell you about that this circuit, this device which is being used it is following all the norms of safety. Okay, so it is safe to use such ISI marked devices, and it is placed on the electrical appliances. Okay, so children, we have seen the working principle of the fuse, and please use a proper fuse which has been specified for a particular appliance carrying ISI mark. Never use just any wire or a metallic strip in place of the fuse. Okay, so please remember that you need to use a standard quality of the fuse and the electrical appliances to safeguard your homes. Okay, so children, we have studied about the different things in this today's video, that how is the heating effect being used. So we have already seen the appliances like heater and the water heater, or that particularly the electrical heater which is used as a room heater, and then electrical this electric iron we have also seen, and within that element is present, and that element was the coiled instrument, a coiled or coil of wire was there. And next thing we saw today was the working of the fuse, which is also based upon the heating effect of electric current. Okay children, so what is that heating effect? That the simple wire is present that melts and breaks when the overloading happens, or when the means that the current is going to flow from that particular circuit that has exceeded the safe limits. Okay, so children, we will see some more effects of the electric current in the next class. That's all for today's video children. I'll meet you all in the next video with the next topic to be discussed on this heating effect of electric current, and some more effects would be discussed in the next class. So that's all for today. I'll meet you again.